Although you can make your personal logo by hand this week, I'd rather you try to use an app or some other digital software. These are some sketches that I started with, very basic, simple sketches. Doesn't have to be crazy complicated. I use lots of photo editing software on my phone. Some of you guys might too. Adobe Capture is a free one. It's one of my favorites. Lots of different options once you get into the program, but the one that you would want to choose if you use Adobe Capture is Shapes. You can get in, zoom in on the piece that you want. You can mess with the contrast. You can tap it to freeze it, which I'll do here in a second. Oh, and then you can go ahead and mess with the contrast there and check it when you're ready. And then you can go in with an eraser tool and clean it up a bit. And then you'll want to crop it too. And then you'll want to hit the smooth selection, and that will make it look even more digitized and graphic, very modern looking, and save that to the library. Now I like to use more than one app when I'm creating a logo, so this was just the starting point for me, just the basic graphic. I'm going to take that and I'm going to use it in a different app. So this is Adobe Capture. We're going to be using it in another app that I really like, which is called HD Logo. That one I think is 99 cents on the App Store, but there are other apps I'm sure you could use too. It just happens to be a favorite of mine. You can see I've used it for a lot of things. So in this case, if you're using this, I'm just going to import this picture as a background. At the bottom there's an option for backgrounds, so I'll click on that, import image from my photo library, and pick the picture that I just took and kind of scale that and mess around with the composition, see where I'd like that to be, because I'm going to be adding some text to it, because after all this is a logo. And for mine, it's not going to have my name, it's going to have fictitious art company. So this is just the image that goes with my logo, my text, and you'll see kind of how I add the text here in a second. At the bottom it says text, so I can click on that and choose a font. Try one out. And not a huge fan of that one, so I can kind of go through and change it to something else. Yep. Mess with the size, you can mess with the color. Maybe choose another part. I'm going to call mine Art Unlimited. It's going to be the name of my company. Not extremely unique, but just for the sake of example, you could see how I could take something real basic and make it into a cool looking logo very, very quickly with these apps. And this is why I think that if you're able to do this on your phone or on a computer, you should, as opposed to doing it by hand, because you can just edit and change frequently and you don't have to go erase the whole thing and start over. And these are just some badges, so it's not cheating. Grab something that's pre-populated, see if you can somehow figure a way to include it in your design. For this, I can mess with the color, and I can go to the edit tool at the bottom, and there's also an overlay option. So I can take different patterns and overlay on top of the graphic to make it more interesting. I like that one. Some other ones that are kind of cool. So you can see the possibilities are endless, and you watched me do this in less than 5 minutes. Okay, so it is very possible. If you do something like this, I highly recommend you do multiple versions. Submit all of them, just because I think that's really cool to see how you took a concept and you tweaked it and just evolved and made it your own.